Oh, damn, that's too high. Oh my goodness. All right, we're just gonna get into this today. Hi everyone, Nick here. So I am going to talk today about a phenomenon of sorts that for the life of me, it drives me crazy when I for the life of me, don't understand why people don't quite grasp or understand this concept. It's the concept of what you, hold on, I wrote it down. Hold, please. What you don't pay attention to will leave you. This is something that I see all the time, and people being very appalled and not understanding why things would just leave them just because, they weren't paying attention to them. So I feel like we need to talk about this. And if you're one of those people that has a person or a thing that you're neglecting, then you need to listen to this. This is a wake-up call for you. So I like to provide real life metaphors. So today's metaphor, we're going to talk about a plant. So you have a plant, and the plant requires sunlight, and it requires watering, and those are the things it requires in order for it to live and to survive and to thrive and to sustain itself. So the plant is a human being. Let's say the plant is a human being. The sunshine is sunshine is human contact and attention. And the water is like nutrients, like food and what have you. So when you don't water a plant, you don't provide it with the nutrients it needs in order to live. If a plant doesn't get water, it dies. If it doesn't get sunlight, it's not as vibrant as it could be or should be or has been beautifully designed to be vibrant upon photosynthesis from the sun. So if you're not providing this plant with the things that it needs, it's not going to be living to its full potential, and essentially it's dying, and over time it will die. The same thing holds true to the people we have in our lives. If we don't feed into the people that we have in our lives, those relationships, they will die off and they will leave. See, the difference between a plant and a human is a human being can get up and leave and walk away. When you don't give that plant, that human being, the attention that it needs, the acknowledgement of their existence and how important they are to you and how much you appreciate them. If you don't tell them that, they're not going to know, and they're not going to be there forever. It just doesn't work that way. And I know some of you are probably saying, well, some people say, well, in what capacity are they staying? What capacity are they staying in? So like the plant, how the sunlight, it helps to ensure that it is in its glory, right? So as a human, you may be feeding them, you may be watering them, giving them the nutrients that they need, but you're not providing them with the sunshine that helps provide them to sparkle and shine, to turn that on and within them. What kind of relationship is that? It's a relationship that is dying. It's a relationship that hasn't been nurtured, that hasn't been given the care that it needs in order to thrive, to be in a position, in a capacity that it is thriving at, that it is just lush and green and gorgeous, and you just want to just look upon it and appreciate the beauty. When we don't feed into our relationships, when we don't pay attention to the things in our life, they leave. They do. So if you're not paying attention to someone, a friend, say hi, reach out and say hello today, because they're not gonna be there. And here's the thing that a lot of people always seem to forget, that you're out there living your life and you may be neglecting this relationship. Here's the thing. While you're out there living your life, let's say you're trying to get yourself together. While you're trying to get yourself together, this person right here is still living their life. And life continues on regardless of you trying to figure your stuff out. It still goes on. Life still goes on. There's no pause button when you're trying to figure your excuse my French. There's no pause button when you're trying to figure your stuff out, when you're trying to figure it out. There's no pause button. That's not how life is designed. And honestly, I wouldn't want other people to push pause on my life because they're trying to figure themselves out. I want to be able to live my life to the best of my ability, to how I want to live my life. So remember this. If you are not paying attention to something, to someone, to a relationship, it will leave you. It will leave you. So take the time and look at the people around you, look at the relationships around you, and ask yourself, be 100% and honest. Are you not paying attention to a relationship? Are you not paying attention to something that you feel is important and vital to yourself, to your life, is important to you in some capacity? If you're not paying attention to it, you're not feeding it, you're not providing it the nourishment and the care and love that it needs, and it's not going to be there for you forever. It's not just going to stay there. It's going to die. And humans tend to just walk away or disengage when they're not getting something in return of some sort. So I know it's a novel concept that things don't just stay there. Like I have this jump drive. I'm not paying it any attention. Why doesn't it stay there? You gotta pay people attention. People are not inanimate objects. So that's my love chat for today. I just have really been feeling the need to talk about this, to remind people that when you stop paying attention to things, it's gonna leave. I promise you, it is going to leave. And if it's still there and you haven't been paying attention to it, it's dying. It's a relationship that is dying that needs you to feed into it. And remember this too, that I get that we're all trying to do the best that we can do. But if you have someone that is important to you in your life, don't shut them out while you're trying to figure it out. I know sometimes that can be so hard because, like I said, the plant, when you don't provide it with the things that it needs, it dies. And I have unfortunately been in a situation where I didn't feed into a relationship and that person is no longer here to reconnect and to feed back into that relationship. So that's something to consider. Life is very, very short. It's very fragile. The fragility of life is so very prevalent. And that's why it's so important to tell people how much they mean to you. And if they don't mean anything to you, if they're not important to you in your life, let them know so they can leave, move on, and go into another relationship or instance, whatever it may look like for them. The words escape me right now. Allow them that opportunity to have the choice to choose to be with someone that feeds them. It's okay if that's not you anymore. It's just not okay to just expect people that you don't pay attention to, relationships and things, to be there when you're ready, because they will leave you or they will die in some capacity. If they're getting the so many